And million times he tells me yes, but this one time I'm like, I hate it when you say that, but I love it because you put me on my place.
Mm.
Because we don't want to walk all over you guys. But when you let us, we'll try. And then you let us, and then we're like, not sexy. Don't let us walk all over you.
Hello, and welcome to the Go Encourage podcast, where I talk to real people about real life, trying to gain some insight into their experiences around courage. We are in the relationship series today, and I am joined, or will be joined shortly, by Helena Summer, who is, let me get this right, an androgynous semantic realignment specialist, who, by her own admission, says that that's a bit of a tongue twister. And what she does is show people how to realign their words to get the best out of their relationships. So I'm excited for you to meet her, get to know her, and for us to ask her some questions around building better relationships. Okay, hello, Helena. How are you?
Hey, Rix, good to see you again.
So good to see you. I'm so excited that you're here joining us for our relationship series here at Go Encourage. So thank you for joining us.
Mhm.
Can you tell us where you are right now?
Currently, Austin, Texas. It's hot
Ooh.
as you can imagine.
All right, so I want to start it off by asking you what your name means. What does your name mean? Do you know?
Helena, it's coming from a Greece, Helios,
Okay,
means the light of the sun or a
lovely.
sunshine. So,
Nice. So your name means light, bringer of light.
and look at me, I'm all bright and sunny, so I'm in my brand.
You know what I want to say as well, like on your socials, your content, the message that you're putting out there, it brings a lot of light. It's
Yeah,
so upbeat, so positive. So, you know,
yeah.
thank you for that. That's awesome.
Mm.
All right.
Appreciate you noticing. Yes.
Um, can you tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up?
Yes, Croatia. I was pretty much born in a country that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
Yugoslavia. It was socialistic system, and then when I was about 16 years of age, the country fell apart, and there was a war, and then it was Croatian War of Independence that was lasting 4 years, and it was a beautiful experience to live in communism and to see one kind of world and to live through war and to see another kind of world and then to live through all of what came after. So it's really interesting. I feel that just by being in one place, going through all these social and governmental changes, we can learn so much about ourselves and life.
Mm.
Maybe sometimes more than with traveling.
It's not something I can relate to in terms of what that experience must have been for you growing up. Um, could
Yeah.
you could you express what it was like?
Well, interesting part was we were all equally poor, but we
Mm.
didn't know. And we played a lot on the streets, and kids were, it was nothing uncommon to see a 3 year old walking down the street going to a, with a little 100 dinars money going to the store to buy a beer and bread and the milk for home. Nothing unusual, a 3 year old.
Wow.
And now we are all so protective, and but I understand life has changed. So yeah, that was interesting. And I remember when these 100 dinars used to be enough to buy two breads, two milks, two yogurts, and you still get change.
Wow.
And then when inflation started, literally, next day, you could only get one bread and one milk and one yogurt and a little change. And
Wow.
day after, you could get half a bread and a small milk, no yogurt. Next day, within 5 or 6 days, you could only get a bubble gum.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was,
Yeah.
I forgot now the number. Was it like I think it was the second greatest inflation ever. It was like a 4,000% or something. And it was so interesting to live through that and survive. And we are so
Mm,
afraid today. There is so much fear because it's
mm,
unknown. But living through something like that and surviving and turning out to be pretty cool and awesome as a person, as a human, as a professional,
mm,
it's very important. Maybe that was the beautiful lesson that many
mm.
of us Eastern Europeans have.
Yeah. Wow. They say like where you originate or your origin story, let's say, has the ability to put out a path in front of you, and it's how you respond to it. Do you respond negatively, or do you respond and say, "Look, what can we do with what's in front of us? How can we make the best of the situation?"
Yeah.
Um, was it like that for you and your family?
Well, personally, most of the time, I respond in both ways. The sky
Mhm.
is falling. And then, like, okay, that's life. What do we do? And I think it's very common for most humans to have most expressions. So we don't have to strive always towards being positive, positive, positive. Let
Mm,
yourself have a moment and then dust yourself off and move on.
yeah. Yeah, I like that because it's really important to actually express how you feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not always, to another person, but just within yourself to feel the emotion
Mhm. To be
and not.
authentic with yourself. Oh my God, this sucks. Oh my God, I'm scared. Oops, I
Mm,
overcame it. It was
mm,
not a big deal.
yeah. Okay. All right. What was your life like as a teenager? What was just trying to get a little sense of how you started out? What was your personality? What kind of things did you enjoy?
Well, before the war is a very pivotal point in my life because it changed everything after. But before the war, I always had some kind of intuition.
Mhm.
But because it was such a communistic system, everything was closed minded and nothing was allowed. It was a lot of censorship and all of these things that we are now noticing sometimes online. But we didn't have online. But we just had a very limited access to certain to books. Limited. There's things were limited. And I remember telling my mom one day, I was maybe 12, 13, 14 years old, 13, 14. I said to her, Mom, I can smell the death in the air. I'm scared. And she didn't know what to do with me. Like every loving mother, she took me to a doctor. And a doctor gave me pill for smiling, pill for sleeping, pill for whatever. Only that these pills never helped me. But when war started, 2, 3 years later, I was like, this is mom. I felt this in advance. I was scared of this. I noticed this. I knew it in the energetic field of everywhere. So when you ask me how was my childhood, it was full of those beautiful aha moments, knowing that there is so much more to us than we were allowed to know. Like I remember one of the first books that really changed my life was the book Illusions by Richard Bach. Have you heard that
Okay.
book?
No, I
It's
haven't
it's
actually.
an awesome book. You can read it in like a 2 hours. It's a short little magic book. Awesome book.
I'm gonna
But
write it down.
yes, please, everybody write this down.
Write
Richard
this
Bach
down.
wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So that was
Oh, okay.
his most famous book.
Yeah.
So this one, it's absolutely awesome. But because it was so out there,
Mhm.
the cover of the book was shaved off, like removed. And we were basically dealing books. And I remember this book came to me from a friend whose father was in jail because he said, I don't know what, something so insignificant that he's Croatian or that he believes in God or something so silly, right?
Mhm.
But he ended up in jail. So whatever came from that friend, I was very curious about. And when that book came, Illusions by Richard Bach, my whole life started opening to these new
Wow.
directions because there is so much information in a book that I never was aware of. Maybe for you would be nothing, but to me, At that time, the whole world open, like literary world open. Like something changed forever. And I knew this, I am a different person. I became. It's like a new birth. That
Like
was
a
a beautiful.
revelation, like a big
Mhm.
revelation of, oh, I can see clearer now, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, read the book. It's very simple book, easy to read.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I'll put a link in the
after,
description below as well for anyone who wants to sort of find out a little bit
yeah,
more about that. Yeah.
yes, please. It's a great book. And then after when I was in a refugee camp, that's when I don't know if you're going to ask me that later. I'll save it for later. I have a juicy part.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh, we could go there. We could go there. We could go there. That's
we
okay.
can go there now.
Yeah, we could go
Okay,
there.
so since you asked me about my teenage
Mhm.
years, most teenagers go to school, fall in love, have a first kiss, second kiss, fifth kiss, have a sex, explore, learn to do makeup, whatever, have broken heart, do this all over again. During my teenage time, I was a refugee, a war refugee, and I ran away from the refugee camp at some point, and I became a nun.
You became a nun. You became a nun. Wow. What? Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
So instead of fooling around with boys, I was fooling around with none. Boys,
Right.
none. Fun, none. I literally, I mean, but seriously, I had a
Yeah. Yeah.
life of celibacy, simplicity, and poverty.
Mhm.
I lived in an organized religion community, and
Okay.
it was a completely different world.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Was that?
that's
I'm
when.
really curious. Was that? So from the refugee camp, when you say you ran away, I'm guessing
Mhm.
that took some courage. That took some, some planning. No, you had to work out a way of getting out of there, or was it quite simple?
Well, you need to have a reason to leave safety.
Okay.
We humans are wired for safety.
Mhm.
Biologically, we are supposedly wired for survival. Mm-mm. Safety. We want to be safe and comfortable and cozy. We don't really want to grow. And everything, I mean, refugee camp was terrible, but I had a roof over my head and I had some food over there. But one night, like maybe 2, 3, 4 in the morning, there was this big scream and pain and misery that came from another part, from the other side of the camp. And we all gathered and what's going on. And then you hear the first line of news, which was so and so babies froze to death.
Ooh.
It was so
Mm.
cold.
Mm.
And we got these military blankets, these sharp, terrible army green blankets. And it was cold, so baby froze. And then the second layer of news was she should have covered the baby better, blaming the mom. And mom is like a 21 years old mom who witnessed her husband being slaughtered.
Wow.
And of course, she was all over the place or whatever. And if her baby really froze because she didn't cover baby better or something, the fact that other refugees, instead of being team,
Mm.
you can see their pain was just being dumped on others.
Mm.
That was my pivotal point. I didn't
Mm.
need courage for that. I
Yeah.
claimed
Yeah.
the freedom. I claimed I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna, I mean, I just knew I'm gonna have to find God and kick his butt.
Mm.
How do you let baby die and you let
Mm.
me live? Why am I supposed to live and a baby dies? I'm not a innocent baby. Baby is innocent. I'm a sinner.
Mm.
And a baby is not. And to me, that was a motivation. I need to run away and find God. So after breakfast, calmly, I just walked out. Nobody
Wow.
saw me. Nobody said a word. I didn't have food. I didn't have money. I didn't have ID. I didn't have clue where is my brother who was on front line. I had no clue where is my sister who was a refugee in Hungary, and I was a refugee in Croatia. My mother who was staying in occupied town. I had no clue about anything. I just knew I have to find God and have some
Have some words with
one-on-one
him.
talk.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
So
for
that
sure.
was, you can call it courage or something. Maybe it was stupid, but I felt entitled.
Yeah.
Entitlement.
But it
I am
sounds like,
going to find God.
yeah, absolutely. It sounds like there's this level of injustice that was unbearable for you. And instead of like trying to work it out, you wanted to go straight to the source, right? The creator of the universe and say, "Hey, what's going on?" Um, which I think which I think is, really authentic. um,
For a 16-year-old, what did I
for a
know about
16-year-old, yeah,
right? I would probably
absolutely.
do differently if this happened today.
Sure.
But at that time, I loved the 16-year-old me who had that chutzpah to do
Mm.
it. Yeah.
And then, so how did you go from there to then going into becoming a nun? Or, was it like the nearest church? Was it like, what happened?
So, okay, I was in a town that I didn't know. I'm
Hmm.
16 years old. What do I have about life? I have
Yeah.
no money. I have no idea. I don't have nothing. I don't know where I am, right? So I'm on the streets of this foreign town, and whoever I meet, where is God? Where
Hmm.
is God? Where is God? I'm asking everyone. So people tell me, whatever they know in the church, in the Bible,
Yeah.
in your heart, in the nature, everywhere. And I didn't see the God. And I
Hmm.
kept asking everyone. And I was getting cold, and I was getting tired, and I was getting hungry, and I needed to go to the bathroom. And I was still on the street asking people, where is God? And then suddenly, out of nowhere, there came these three glowing women.
Ooh.
And I asked them, where is God? And they were all happy. Oh, why do you ask us? I'm like, you're not special. I ask everyone. I have a talk to do with God. And she said, well, and they said, come with us. And they were
Mhm.
nuns. So I went
Mm.
with them. The rest is history.
And the rest. And how long were you with them?
uh, in the whole organized religion, 6 years.
Okay. All right.
I had a vow of celibacy, simplicity, and poverty.
Okay.
It was beautiful.
Lovely. Amazing.
Yeah.
I could probably talk to you for a couple of hours just on that experience. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I would love to hear
Um,
it. Somebody
and I
needs to interview you.
sorry, say that one more time.
Somebody needs to interview you on your
Oh,
podcast.
me? Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But I just think, well, you got me thinking about that now. We'll put it down as a note for another time. But in terms of, yeah, just going from like already what we've talked about in just getting to know you, I think we could make a movie about that. I think that's a really
Everybody
compelling
says
story
that.
in terms of like going from there to
Yeah.
to to taking on the creator of the universe, let's say, and
Mhm.
trying to wrestle with him to say what's going on. Before we
Mhm.
move on, I have to ask, like, did you find your answer? Did you get your answer?
Mm, the girl who was asking the question changed. So the
Mm,
need for combative answer was not there anymore.
mm,
There was more peaceful answer, but there was also, as I grow, this is my continual question pretty much through the life. I see the vitriol is necessary in the search for higher spheres, and the relationship with vitriol and peace is changing with me, so the answers is changing as I go.
mm. Wow, that is, you know what, I that is really powerful. The girl with the question changed, right? That is
Mhm.
really powerful. Wow. Okay, that got me. That got me. If we fast forward, and I know we'll come back a little bit, and it's not all going to be chronological and stuff, but if we fast forward from you then to what you do now, what is it that you do now?
What I do now is I help people stop the war in their heads.
Mm,
I help them stop the war in their marriages. I help them use the vitriol in a way that is actually useful and enriching. I help them have, I call it PPV, playful, peaceful, and vitriolic relationships. So
okay.
that actually it can all be for their higher understanding of life. I work, I help people in their relationship. My official title is Androgynous Semantic Realignment Specialist, which means I help people use words semantically to realign their androgyny, female male standards, realigning the way I talk as a woman to you as a man, so
Mhm,
that it
mhm,
shows respect, and for
mhm,
you to talk to me in a cherishing way so we can both be the best of ourselves in this
mm,
relationship. It's very authentic way of communicating and super simple to learn. But
mm,
your mother never taught you, your grandma, your
mm.
great grandma, nobody ever taught us. So that's what I do.
That's amazing. That's such a
Yes.
beautiful. I like the way you put that. You know, having and look, we're going to talk today about relationships. We'll probably stay in the masculine, feminine sort of space. But you're saying in terms of like talking to a man, and you use the word respect there, which I think is really powerful. Obviously, as a man, I can really relate to what that feels like and what that's like when you receive that versus not receiving that, and the big
Uh-huh.
difference that it has there. And then you use the word cherishing for a man speaking to his partner and the way that he cherishes her in his communication, which, by the way, is a concept that's thousands of years old, right? It's not new, and it has been in human existence for a very, very long time. And it's interesting that as we are, I don't know what to call this world anymore, postmodern. I don't know what we are. Um, this new age, let's say, it kind of uh, in the I don't know, in the guise of being very moral, it starts to go away from that place, and then we start to see that beautiful relationship start to tear down, don't we? Um, can I ask, did that come from somewhere for you? Did that respect, cherish? Did that was there an aha moment for you to go, this is at the core of
Well,
communication?
I wish I can tell you, oh yes, one moment the sun came and I got
Sure.
enlightened and the angel wings show up. No, I actually studied in the institute, and my teacher was a Pat Allen.
Right.
She wrote a book, Getting to I Do, and Staying Married and Loving It, and she's the whole founder of the institute. So I studied with her for
Mhm.
many years,
Right.
and this is the concept that she taught me. So
Okay.
that's what it's not
I
mine.
I
All
wondered
credit
if
to Pat Allen.
yeah, you got to do those shout outs, you got to give
Oh
credit where
yeah,
credit's due.
I respect her and cherish her and adore her.
Amazing. I wondered with your, organized religious experience as well. I know, there are scriptures in the Bible that do talk about, cherishing your partner. Maybe not in those exact words, but in terms of the sacrificial love a man has for his wife and the kind of respect that a woman has for her husband, that kind of thing. And start to see those patterns
But
play out, even in.
The Bible also says those who marry will have troubles.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one should be highlighted and underlined, don't you think?
Like, are you sure? Before you say I do.
Okay, so that's what you do now, and how's that going for you? How are you enjoying that experience and working with couples?
I not only with couples, I work with singles as well. I work with individuals separately, only with wife or only with husband, or I just work with single people as well.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
often work with just single people,
Okay.
helping them get to a relationship, helping them get over one,
Mm,
helping them part from one in a way that is calm for them. Because look, The point is, relationships never end.
Mm-hmm.
You are in this super loving relationship, and now you are in this I hate you relationship. You are still relating, especially if you have
Mm-hmm.
children. Like you cannot just like tear the piece of paper and now we are not relating anymore. Relating is an art. It's a skill that is becoming long forgotten as we move with technology and everything, and we just swipe and text and don't care and underestimate other people. But if you learn the skill and you treasure it and take care of it like your art, you are actually seeing it's a dance, it's continually happening, and it makes you a better person, makes your life easier. Not necessarily that the goal is every relationship I have should be perfect. No, but the process of creating your art, like playing your music or creating your statues, just the process of that is beneficial for your soul, for your heart, for everything.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's so on point as well. And I love that you made it really clear as well. It's not just about couples, it's about the single person, the person within yourself as well, isn't it? To have that relationship with yourself and therefore have the art of relating to other people as well.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for just starting to get to know you. We got to know you quite well there. I thought just before we get into getting some of your insights around courage, around relationships and love, and the art of having that dance. I thought I could ask you some quick fire questions just to kind of get a little bit more about who you are and what you like. So these are just some fun questions. So what is your comfort food? What is your go-to comfort food?
Um, I love burek. That's like a
Ooh.
pastry with cheese. It's Balkan food. Ah, it's so sinfully delicious. Love it.
Sounds good. I don't think I've tried it. I'm gonna have to try that. What's your go-to clothing choice? What would you wear just
A
without
dress.
thinking?
A dress.
Dress. Nice. Okay.
Yes.
I can't relate to that one.
Good.
what's what's your favorite national cuisine like in the world? Because I know you're well traveled.
I'm well traveled. Indian.
Oh, Indian food. Is there a particular dish you like?
Indian food is flavorful and yummy, and it takes time to make. And I was in India twice, and I saw them. There is so much attention in
Mm.
Indian food. I lived in Japan too, but Japanese food is more scarcity.
Mhm.
Sushi is cold. It's like the Indian food is yummy, and I like both, but there is difference. My saag paneer is one of my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, India won. Take that, Japan. Jokes, jokes. Um, what's your
こんにちは。
favorite?
ありがとうございます.
What's your favorite place or a really lovely place that you like?
Place?
Mm.
You mean like place in the world?
Yeah,
Forest?
location. Yeah, yeah.
Forest,
Forest.
jungles of
Ah,
Hawaii. Mm.
oh,
You see my little
Hawaii.
home. I have my little jungle everywhere, plants all around me. I love jungles, and I lived in Hawaii. So jungles of Hawaii always feels like
Amazing. Is it
home.
is it as beautiful as everyone says that it is, Hawaii?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll get there one day.
But I'm
Um,
more of a jungle girl. I'm not so much ocean girl. Most people celebrate the ocean, which is delicious, of course, but jungle is jungle.
I love the way you use the word delicious. It's really good. I think it popped out at me. I was saw some of your content online, and I was like, oh, delicious. Oh, that's actually that fits really well. So
Yeah,
just
I
throwing
had a
that at you.
client once, and she was talking about somebody, and she said, "Oh, he was late. That's so disgusting." And whatever happened, oh, disgusting. I gained 2 pounds. So disgusting. And I said to her, "Honey, do you know whenever I hear the word disgusting, I think of you."
Wow.
And she was like, "Wow." And when I hear the word delicious, I think of you. I said, "Do you really want to claim that word?"
Mm,
I don't know what else to say. Oh, stay interesting. Oh, I
mm,
gained 2 pounds. Interesting. He was late. Interesting. So she took the word interesting.
Amazing.
And her life really changed. She's a very interesting woman right now, doing all kinds of interesting things.
the,
And I'm
the,
still delicious.
and you're
And you
still
are
delicious.
courageous.
I It's funny actually. I got a message from my friend today, and she just sent me a message. She saw a poster and it had something to do with courage, and she said every time she sees the word courage, she thinks of me. And I was
Mhm.
like, wow. I mean, I don't consider myself particularly courageous, but I am fascinated by the virtue of courage. But it was a
Yeah.
nice thing, and it sort of ties in with what you're saying there.
And maybe this is a good invitation for the listeners. Think of the
Mm,
word you want to
mm,
be reflected upon, associated
mm.
with, and watch the
Yes.
words you're using. Are you using always some, oh, this is boring, this is stupid? What words are you using? And
Yeah.
how do you see yourself? I want to have a delicious life. I did
Mm,
not. I had a
mm,
very bitter life. So I designed this for myself.
mm.
So you design your
Yeah.
courage. Courage. You were fascinated by that virtue. You were looking forward to it. Everybody has opportunity to create life.
I totally agree. And I think words have such power. We forget how powerful words are. When we make jokes about ourselves, we're actually speaking or affirming whatever it is that we're saying over ourselves. Whether we believe it or not, or intend it or not, it does have weight, on us. So yeah, I totally agree.
Self-deprecating humor is never funny. It
Mm,
sounds haha because the
mm,
play on words or something, but it's never really funny.
mm.
Self-deprecation. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're literally not loving yourself in that one. Um, Favorite season? What's your favorite season?
Summer,
Summer, Helena
summer,
Summer, of course, of course. Why summer? Why summer?
dresses, sunshine, beach, half naked. Life is good.
Amazing. Um, Star sign?
Mine, Capricorn.
Capricorn. Capricorn. Is that
It's a
January?
goat.
Is it January?
December, December,
December. Oh,
January.
December. Okay. All right. Cool.
Mhm.
And then, oh, here's one for you. What's the last date you went on?
Well, I think I had like a 1 week long date with my mom. I
Ah,
never spent
ah,
24 hours with my mom my whole life because we were
wow.
three kids and war and I left early and blah, blah. So this year for her 75th birthday, I said, Mom, I'm taking you to Croatian coast. It's a date,
Ah,
you and me. And I didn't know, do I know my mom well enough? Are we going to have conflict or some problem during 7 days alone together? It
mm.
was wonderful, absolutely
Hey.
delicious.
Delicious. Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's
Yeah, so that was
beautiful.
my long date.
That's an incredible day. What's a recent good movie that you've watched? Or if you don't watch movies, what's a great book that you've read recently?
I just actually watched the other day Jones Plantation.
Oh, okay.
Really good movie.
Okay.
Really, really good. It's not available on Netflix or something like that. It just came out this month.
Hmm.
It's available on Jones Plantation, the movie or whatever.
Okay.
You pay $10 for it. It's so good. There is also on YouTube like a 12-minute cartoon on
Hmm.
the story, but the movie is so much better, how they are creating it and it's really make you think about the system in the world and the whole it's fantastic movie. I love it.
Okay. All right. Oh, thanks for that. And then last one is something you love to do. What's anything that comes to the top of your head
I like to be in the nature.
in nature?
Trees, be in the nature, yeah. Alone,
Okay.
read, write, be, sit, do nothing in the nature. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you say you're logically aligned or more emotionally aligned or somewhere in the middle?
Probably emotionally through my day, but when I work with clients, I understand that they have the right of way to own their emotions. And I'm usually the only safe space for them. So I really have an incredible ability to flip to my logic so I
Hmm.
can hear their heart and use my compassionating on them and
Mm,
flip it somehow to be of the best service. But if I'm alone by myself or with my husband, of course I'm going to scream if there is a cockroach. A cockroach cannot do anything to me.
Yeah,
I know logically, but it's
yeah.
very nice to scream so my husband can save me.
And he
My
can come
knight in
and
shining
rescue you.
armor
Yeah.
from a dragon.
Yeah. Does he come with a big sword and his shield?
Oh God, yes.
I like that. Okay. I'll ask you this one. Do you know about the love languages? The love
Yes,
languages test. What
yes.
would you say is your love language? Say top two.
Words and touch. In when I have enough words, I miss touch. When I have enough touch, I miss words.
Mm.
I think I'm never satisfied with one
Mhm. You need a cocktail of both of them, right?
of all five.
Of all five.
I
No, this
need
is
all
true.
five.
This is
But
true.
at least these two, it's like a glass in which everything can be. And if without these
Yeah.
two, where is the container?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. Thanks for that. I have the same too, by the way, so I can
Oh,
relate to
cool.
that. What's a good compliment that's been said about you recently? No, it doesn't have
Mm,
to be recently. It could be at any point. That's
yeah.
something that just stood out to you.
Well, a man told my mom about me. She makes me weak in my knees.
Ooh.
I like that. That was when I just was not a nun anymore, and I had
Okay.
zero awareness of my feminine power
Right.
because we were trained never to look a man in the eyes, never to be with a man in the closed room, never smile at the man, nothing. You look at the floor and you say, "We need 5 pounds of potatoes and this for kitchen department, and we need blah 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 blah. Thank you, bye." No, hello, da da da, nothing. So when
Mm.
I went out, there was this kind of family friend who was a couple of years older than me. I was 21. He was maybe 25 or something. And he came and we were in the same room. And I was behaving my way, looking down, not doing nothing. And then the last moment before I exit the room, I looked at him and I smiled. And supposedly that was so potent, charged with all this energy from years of not looking at men, or I was never touched, never kissed. I didn't know anything about men, about life. I didn't know how to put makeup, shave my legs, nothing. So
Mm.
that whole innocent but female force just
Mm.
looked at him, and I left the room, and he just looked at my mom and looked after the door. And he touched his knees and he said to my mom, "She makes me weak in my knees."
Wow.
And so my mom told me later, and I was like, I got some power.
You're like, yeah. Oh
It was
wow.
beautiful because the first time I was aware that I'm a woman when I was 21. So
Wow.
this is a very long lost experience.
That poor guy, he was just having a normal day, and then Helena, that means shining light, right? Came and shone her light for the first time, and he's like, what?
And I was not even aware. I just looked at him at 1 second. Like I was looking down, I was completely cold, no smiling, nothing,
Yeah,
following
yeah,
my rules.
yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do with a man? Nothing.
No, I hear that. I hear that. All right, I've got this last question, and we go straight into relationships, and we're gonna go for it, right? So, one of the things that is really sort of central to Going Courage is just the idea of being productive. So, going and being productive. So, I'm curious. Do you have a routine, or do you have a rhythm about your life that you do on a daily basis or a weekly basis, that kind of thing?
Well, I have so much to say about that. First of all, productivity is a double-edged sword.
Hmm.
I think it's a very buzzword in the modern times when people are trying to make themselves and turn themselves into robots. Productive, efficiency. I don't want to be efficient and productive. I want to be alive.
Hmm.
So if my routine is helping me with aliveness, it's a yes. So my normal routine when I'm in America is to wake up around 5, do my meditation and prayer for about an hour,
Hmm.
go to gym, come back by 8, showered and ready for a day by 8:30, make breakfast, start the day.
Hmm.
But I went to Hawaii for 2 months, and then I went to Croatia for 2 months, and I had nothing of that routine. And I was so vibrant and alive because my routine became wherever the sun is calling, whenever the heart is calling. And I know that's a luxury many of us in the modern time cannot afford. So now that I'm back in America, I'm back on that routine. But I wanna kind of stress that my perspective of productivity has always been something I was trying to achieve and always felt inadequate, that I was never productive enough until I ask myself, productive in comparison to who? To a
Great.
robot? I'll never win.
Yeah.
AI or anything. I'm just gonna feel like an idiot. All I have in my life is me. That's all I have. Why would I feel inadequate because I'm not on the productivity level of a robot? Because if you look at back in a day, 100 years ago or wherever, the word productivity was not even in our vocabulary. People still did everything. Everything was done. Very few of us just really, really want to lay on a bed and be couch potatoes. And even if we are, it starts bugging you inside.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'm too lazy to move. No, you have nobody. You don't have connection. You have nobody to go and visit. You have nobody to share life with. That's why we get depressed and unproductive. And then we are trying to force a productivity into that person who all that person really wants is connection.
Connection. Yeah.
People would fly to the other side of the planet to meet a new lover. When you are motivated by connection, you will do anything.
Yeah.
So trying to force some kind of productivity into us, I don't know. I have a
No, I it's
opinions
brilliant.
about it, as you heard.
No, I love it. I think even just, if you think about how conception is, so after the act of sex, right? What's happening on the inside on a biological level is things are connecting, right? And forming and all that kind of stuff. So it's inbuilt into our evolution to connect at some level. And I read something today which is perfect for what you're saying as well. And it's, when we have a high security prisoner and we put them in prison, one of the worst things that we can do is put them in solitary confinement. And so it's the loneliness that we torture them with, which then speaks to what you're saying. It's that lack of connection that drives us mad, because we then don't have purpose. We don't have a drive to move forward, which is a powerful thing. Yeah.
Even experiments with rats as social creatures. Rats are like humans. They want to be with each other. When they put rats in solitary confinement and they gave them access to water and access to drugs, they will go to drugs. But if they put rats in a bigger cage with all kinds of toys and interesting things and other rats and give them access to water and drugs, they would always go to water. And every once in a while, how you call that? Those who use drugs on weekends, recreationally.
Recreational. Yeah.
Recreationally, they will use some drugs. And if you put drugged mice, though they were those mice who were in solitary confinement for 57, 8 days. This is a lot of mice life. They don't live as long as we do, right?
No.
They put these fully drugged out mice in the group with other mice. And suddenly they're not addicted anymore. They
Wow.
also don't go on the drug, they go to where the water is.
Yeah.
Because integration with each other, loneliness is the bigger disease than combating productivity.
Yeah. It's powerful. Science lesson, everybody. A little bit of a science
That's why I'm a
psychology.
love coach.
Yeah,
Not
no, I
a
love it. I
productivity
absolutely love it.
efficiency coach.
So yeah, let's get on it. So you are a love coach. I'm really pleased that you're here in that capacity. I feel like we've really got to know you as well. So thank you for sharing some of like your past and where you came from, and it's kind of, you can see patterns of how it's shaped you to where you're at. So that's beautiful. So what I've done with the relationship series for Going Courage is I've put questions out to people, and then they've come back with questions. So these questions are kind of pooled together and
Okay.
we'll see what we can ask you. And you can say pass to anything. You can answer as deep as you want, however you want.
Okay.
So let's see where we
Let's
end up.
serve the audience.
Okay, are you ready? All right.
Mhm.
So the first one, the big one, the huge one is you're a love coach. What is your definition of love? Why is it so important?
Somebody asked me that on some other podcast, and I say my definition of love always changes
Hmm. Okay.
because I don't think love is this. Let's put it in a box. Love is opportunity, opportunity for growth, opportunity to see yourself, opportunity for expansion, opportunity. There's so much life.
Mm.
So today, maybe that's my answer.
Mm. That's a great
Tomorrow,
answer.
it may be a completely different answer, but doesn't exclude today's answer.
Mm.
And people are
Yeah.
trying to one up each other. Well, my definition is cooler than yours. Okay,
Mm.
that's fine. Doesn't mean anybody is wrong here,
Mm.
right? Sometimes I really would believe love is a verb, and sometimes I would believe no, love is not a verb. Nobody does any actions. One time I said to my husband, "Do you think love is a verb?" And he said, "Yes, I verb you."
Like it.
So we can just have fun with whatever.
Yeah, yeah. No, like that. I think I think it's interesting as well because in the English language we say love, right? And I know
Mhm.
in like Indian culture there are multiple words for love and
Yes.
different types of love. I know in Greek there are I think 7 types of love, I think going back to
Yeah.
Aristotle and Plato and things like that. I know from a biblical perspective as well, there are so many definitions of what love is, and I'm sure other cultures and other religious cultures would add to that as well. So I really like your answer. It's not this one thing that you can just say, right, this is love. And today it's opportunity. We're talking about opportunity, which is very romantic in nature. It's very delicious in nature. So I like it. Thank you for that. What part does courage play in the way that we love?
I
Whether
believe
that's sorry,
it's,
I was just going to say whether that's the way that we love ourselves or the way that we love others as well.
yeah, I believe it's so important as a, I look at courage as entitlement. I'm entitled in my whole energetic being to climb this tree. Therefore, I go.
Mm,
Not because I'm courageous, but I'm entitled. Therefore, what looks like courage comes. I'm entitled to climb this mountain. I'm entitled to, there is something inside that is so connected to the object of our desire that anything in the process in between looks courageous. But it's
mm,
just a magnetic force. Like, is mother courageous to fight a mafia?
mm,
No, but she's
mm,
entitled to her child so much for herself that she would do whatever,
mm, mm.
right? When she's,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, until they kick her and scare her and whatever. But that whole impulse to save your own child
Mm,
from a, how, I don't know if that's a true story, but there are many stories. They said mother lifted the car to
yeah.
save the child from the underneath the car. It's impossible to do that. Oh yes, it is. If you are entitled to the child, the courage, the
Mm,
strength, everything will come.
mm. I hear that.
So I
I
believe,
like the word impulse. That's really good because it's something that is it. There's not much to do up here. It's just this magnetic energy. I think you said um, to go and act. Yeah.
so if you feel entitled, look, I just know, I just know. I'm 25-year-old. I was born to be a mother. I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And you just go for it. There is no courage. Oh, you're too young. Somebody cannot tell you you should do that. No, you're just doing your life your way. There is something inside that it makes you entitled
Mm,
to more.
mm.
And that's that courage.
Right.
And in love, we have to be, most of us, the problem I believe that nobody is entitled to love anymore. We are becoming so wimpy. And therefore, I cannot ask anybody out. So I'm going to text WTF. I mean, DT, whatever it's, right? It's just a stupid, brainless, courageousless stuff because we're not entitled. We are counting on being rejected. We are
Mm,
counting on, oh, somebody will break my heart. All men are blank. All women are blank. No. So more courage, more entitlement. Love is opportunity.
yeah,
Grab it, right?
I'm so interested in the word entitled because it's such a kind of a negative in today's world
Mhm,
to use the word entitled. Like it's like, oh,
mhm,
don't have entitlement. What a horrible thing to have. But
mhm.
in the context of what you're saying there, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because me reaching out to you, I mean, we don't know each other, right? And I just like your content, and I thought there was a lot of stuff that aligned with what Go Encourage is about. So I just felt like, yeah, I can reach out. And but if I had that same approach, sorry, I'm using this as an example, but if I use that approach, it's like you'd never get anywhere. You never speak to anyone. And the same in relationships, like you're saying there. Oh, they might not like me, or they might think this, they might think that. It's true, they might, right? But the opportunity is there.
So, like, you are so entitled to your podcast
Hmm.
that makes you courageous to reach to anyone.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if they say yes or no, you don't feel hurt or anything. You navigate through. And I even about kids today who are so entitled to parents paying for them, parents are doing it. So I guess their entitlement, their courage to not go to school, to not go to work, to just sit at home and play video games works.
Hmm.
Obviously their entitlement is so the courage to just say no to your parent. Like
Hmm.
think ask your parents in India whatever many years ago, they just were just very humble and listening to their
Oh my
parents.
God.
Nobody would say no to a parent.
My
But today
granddad,
they're saying,
my granddad and grandma were just told at 9 years old that in a few years' time you two are going to be married. You don't have a choice. Done. And that was it. Do you believe in this thing called soulmates? As we're talking about relationship series here, the thing about soulmates. Tell me your thoughts.
what do I know about a soulmate? It's a word to me in a foreign language
Hmm.
that sounds very politically correct, but very fluffy to my mind. I
Mm.
know what is respect. I know what is appreciation. I know what is connection. I know what is being there for each other.
Mm.
That's what I want.
Right.
Soulmate, take it or leave it.
I like it. Direct.
Many women in toxic relationships,
Hmm.
they tolerate the abuse or something because we are soulmates. We meant to be. We were born on the same
Mm.
week. Oh my God.
Mm.
No. If you don't have the highest values,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah. Why tie yourself down to something that it's not based on reality? It's based on this kind of like I think you used the word fluffy there,
it
but that
is.
overly romanticized,
Yeah. Nobody knows
concept.
what's a soulmate, and but when we use it, we sound so, oh, it happened to me. Soulmate love. Oh, really? Like you find a dog. Oh my God, love on the first sight. But then the dog also would be love on a first sight, and another dog 3 years later, and
Mm.
a kitten too.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
natural in us. We have so many emotions about
Mm.
people and things and experiences and whatever. And why would only the soulmate be somebody who provides something lovely to you?
Mm.
Why not somebody who teaches the biggest lesson in your life? To stand up for yourself and say no.
Mm.
No, you're not gonna beat me up after you drink 7 bottles of
Yeah.
whiskey, right? I mean, there
Yeah.
is certain like why this Romeo and Juliet fantasy? I'm not a
Mm.
Disney kind of girl, so but I know what
Okay.
is respect
But we're circling around respect again, so I like that.
always.
Um, how important is it to have a sense of self love, self respect? before entering into a relationship. And I just want to say before we get there, there's this whole thing about if I find that guy, he's going to make me happy. Or if I find that girl, she's going to make me happy. And once we've connected, we're going to complete each other and we're going to go on this amazing journey together, etc., etc. I'm so unhappy because I haven't found the person. All of that kind of rhetoric that gets spoken. How important is it that we have a sense of self-love and self-respect before we get there?
I think that's also one of the treadmills that we walk on and never get anywhere, but we get really tired. If you look at the child is born in this world not having any sense of self-love.
Mm-hmm.
It learns, this is what care looks like. I cry and here are warm arms. I cry and here is booby milk. I cry and my diapers are clean. Oh, now I don't have to cry anymore. I can just say, no, because I trust that boobies and arms and diapers will always be here for me. And child starts learning to self-soothe and learning to function because the love is given. You don't take a newborn and say, you just learn to love yourself, have some self-respect.
Yeah.
No, you teach a child self-respect by loving them so that their cup is always full and the nervous system can be connected and peaceful and calm and everything is connected and feels, okay, I'm safe here. Because safety is our biggest need. We all want to be safe. Safety, safety, safety. So we are cool with that. And if I look at my life, my first husband, he loved me more. He taught me so much more about love than I ever could have had. I did not come as a self-loving woman into that marriage. I was completely self-evacuated. I didn't know my body. I was ashamed of my body. I'm a woman. Oh my gosh. I bleed. Oh my gosh. Right? I was so outside of my own world. And he was the one who would calm me and soothe me and help me when I had a war with my own body as a woman, when I had a conflict with some of my desires or something like that. He loved me. So I learned, that's the level of love I can ever experience. I can climb to there. And then as I was there, I loved him. So he would, I can get there. And so that's how you go like a stairs, one. It's never I'm higher than you. No, we are just together, a team.
Yeah.
So I don't like you love yourself first and then the prince on a white horse will come. Well, darling, if you wait too long, you will think all the princes of white horses are just donkeys and nobody's ever good enough for you and you're going to be single forever because you are not seeing these people as your partners. We are here together for each other in a symbiotic way.
Yeah.
It's partnership. It's not like, I'm self-made here and I'm self-made there. Then why do you need each other?
Yeah.
And
sure.
people act like they don't need each other. So there is a first conflict, they go kill each other. Or next.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is also such a overrated thing. Of course, if you are on a level of self-deprecation and you are completely, shooting heroin on the side of the street, well, in that case, grooming is self-care. When people say, I get your nails done, it's a self-care. No, nails are not self-care. Nails are grooming. Hair, it's grooming. Self-care is knowing how to say no, knowing how to listen to yourself. Self-care is being with yourself away from the computer, from the phone, from distractions, and sitting with you. That's self-care. Does that bring self-love? Yeah, if today love means love is opportunity. But do you need that if you are a normal, so to say, functional human being, and then you will love yourself more, me? No, go connect to people.
Yeah.
Connection will bring that love.
I like that.
Because
I
we
really
need
like
connection.
yeah, exactly. We do. And I really like the way you frame that as well, because you could go one way too far, with the self-love. You could be like, I need to love myself, be absolutely at peace with myself, and like, I'm the best of the best. Not in an arrogant way, but just in like I'm at the best of my potential, and then I can go out and look. But I really like the way you've reframed that, because you're saying, well, actually, there is a balance to that, isn't there? If you are, I think your example of if you're on the street and you're shooting drugs and all the rest of it, and you need some self-love and self-care, yeah, absolutely. But if you're already there and you're just feeding that more and more, you're actually moving away
Because you are
from
running
your
away
connection.
from connection, thinking
Mm,
if I just love myself, the prince on the white horse will come. No.
mm.
Connect to black horse and a donkey prince and whatever, and
Yeah,
then maybe
donkey.
there will be white one too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Sure,
who
sure.
it's we are so complicating
Mm,
regular thing that has been happening since the beginning of humanity.
mm,
Caveman, unga bunga, moo, 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 moo.
mm,
And okay, I'll have sex with you. You bring me the food. I mean, people didn't have know how to talk. They knew how to propagate and mate and do
mm.
whatever and connect. But now,
Yeah,
oh well, let me love myself first. Oh, look how much
sure.
I love myself. Where is my prince? Oh. And then 20 minutes later, I hate men. Terrible. Nobody is here for me.
Yeah, yeah. What are important factors in establishing the person that you're entering into a relationship with? So the heart behind this was the person who asked this question. They were talking about red flags. You look out for this red flag, you look out for this red flag, and she said, "I'm so tired of looking out for red flags. What are the green flags? What are the green flags?" So could you speak into
Nice.
that a little bit?
Oh, I love this is a gold digging question.
Mm,
She's digging the gold from the character of the
mm,
person, not just looking for the mud and for showcasing her fears. My four biggest green flags for both of you. Look in the mirror. Do you have that? And if you
mm,
don't have, in every interaction with people, work on those qualities. Even if they won't gonna bring you the person, it will make you being more satisfied with yourself.
mhm,
Honest.
mhm,
We lie all the time. How are you? I'm fine. We lie. But
mhm,
treasure honesty.
mhm,
Really be mindful of honesty. Loving. Show
mhm,
loving affection when you can. Hello.
mm,
Especially to your child, your dog, your husband, or people who drive you nuts who are in your proximity. That's easier. We can act in front of strangers. Oh, I'm so loving. But behind closed doors, we are not really so loving. So
yeah.
nurture that. Honest, loving, willing. I
Mm,
am willing to try yoga class with you. I am willing to open up my mind to a person who is not tall, dark, and handsome Italian millionaire, but
mhm.
also maybe short, white, and not so cute.
Mhm.
Right? Poor guy.
I was like, wait, what is she going to say? But yeah, yeah, that was well
Yeah,
done.
trying to remember, right? So be willing to see somebody's gold that is not
Mm,
shining on the outside according to your list of qualities, but be
mm,
willing to really connect. How many people say, oh, we didn't like each other from the first,
mhm,
and now we cannot get enough of each other,
mm.
right?
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
other qualities comes honest, loving, willing, and organic.
Ooh, organic.
Organic
Mm,
means good for the long run. Junk food, junk relationships are really fun.
mhm.
Quick, grab it, full of flavor, fattening, and awesome, and come with a big Coke. Oh, so much fun, but not very nutritious.
Mm.
Not good for the long run.
It's a great analogy. Yeah.
For the long run, look for organic.
Mm,
Smaller meals, more expensive, not as easily available, and that's okay.
mm,
When somebody is always in your face, you know, on a TikTok, on a dating app, everywhere, all the time, somebody is there. How organic are you? And the pictures are, boobs and all of this so flat. You know what I mean? So this
yeah, yeah.
you're showing like how look at how junk food is presented in commercials. with the red color and it's all juicy and hot and steamy. You can see junk food by the way commercial is designed. And then you can see organic food and healthy food. Commercials for that look completely different. As a matter of fact, they're not even commercials for the real food, farmers raised food.
Yeah.
But those inner people who eat the farmer's food, they know you don't need commercials. You don't need advertisement for quality.
Yeah, sure.
So be very mindful about that. Those are the qualities I will look for in me first. Take responsibility for yourself, and then look for those qualities in the other people too. And naturally, you would probably be a better match the higher you build your honest, loving, willing, and organic qualities. Those who are dishonest, not so loving, not willing, and junk food, they will not find you attractive. It will just be not a match. So
Yeah, I
you
hear that.
will, instead of having to go through a lot of people, they will naturally drop off. Like personally, I never go to McDonald's unless I need to use the bathroom. The bathrooms are really clean, right? But that's not. I don't eat
Yeah.
in McDonald's. There is no way.
You know,
See?
I love what you're saying there, and one of the connections I made there as well in terms of, when you're talking about advertising is the way that junk food is presented. It's cheap, right? It's easy. Whereas organic food, the natural farmers' food, when we try and source things locally, it's more expensive, which is why people tend not to go that direction. But if you're looking for those qualities in a partner, I was thinking that it will cost you more, right? It will cost you. It's more expensive. It takes time to save up and get to that
Yeah.
place, to use that analogy.
And you're looking for the long run. Look, right now, all of us who are here listening and who everybody together, we will have so much better time if we just drink a glass of a bottle of vodka. We will have a really good time. But vodka is not good for the long run. Water is boring, but it's really good for the long run. So when it comes to relationships, many people are looking for vodka. Oh,
Or
I want
whiskey. Or whiskey.
excitement.
I'm just
Yes,
joking.
whiskey. Yeah, exactly. Or cocktail or whatever. Let's excitement and let loose and whatever. And some relationship is so amazing like that for 1 or 2 or 5 times. But if you want to build family, if you want to have reliable, if you want to be trustworthy with each other and everything, it cannot be the whiskey man. Cannot. It
Yeah.
can be so much fun. I never had better sex. Oh my God, this was great. Yeah, because you were both under the influence of whiskey. Awesome. Good for you. Where is that person now? Oh, it was just a fling. Of course.
Yeah.
You cannot take
No,
shower in whiskey.
you can't take a shower in whiskey. Oh gosh. That's not a challenge to anyone listening, by the way, just to say. But to wrap that little segment up, that's really good because there's 4 green flags, really clear green flags that you've put out there to look for in yourself and then look for in a partner. And I really like what you said in terms of, if you're looking for this level of honesty within yourself, then the expectation is that you're going to be around about, because it's never exactly the same, but around about that kind of realm from the other person as well. Or realm or scale, I should say. Okay. This, I think we kind of went there earlier on today, but what are common things that the masculine looks for in the feminine, or let's say the male looks for in the female, and the female looks for in a man? So I know we straight away, actually, right at the beginning, we talked about respect and cherishing. Could we maybe speak into that a little bit?
I believe that if you have a healthy, functional masculine, it's been through a lot already. It worked with the self or family or whoever community to get to a certain level. And what it wants more of, it wants more of itself. Because I already worked hard to become a man of high quality, hardworking, able to control my urges. I'm a man. So I want more of me. And it's looking for a female or feminine energy that can actually support that. And many men are looking for a muse because they know I already built myself to this level and I can see more, but I need a muse to inspire me. A woman who is in her power, who understands that she can receive and feel safe with a man. She doesn't have to throw her garbage and carry this and carry that and be the servant. She can trust that, yes, he will open my door. And yes, he will not want me to do the garbage and dirty stuff. Doesn't mean she cannot do it. Like, of course, I can open my own door.
Sure.
Do I open my own door? Yes, if I'm alone, but never if I'm with a man. Because that's disrespectful. If a man is opening my door, I'm not going to say, I can do my own. I just smile and I say, wow, I really appreciate this. Because it's an act of chivalry.
Yes.
I know he doesn't need to do it, but the fact that he's going an extra mile to bring out the best of him for me, for our experience, of course I'm going to show my appreciation and dig the gold out of his character and tell him how much gold I found in his attributes. You see?
I love that. Yeah.
Healthy masculine wants more of himself. And also the same way healthy feminine. She already has been holding on her virtues. She's not, like doing the easy stuff and playing men. And she's also in this world in which a woman can be very vulnerable and hurt, and propaganda is so anti-man everywhere around us.
Oh yeah.
When a woman has worked on her virtues to keep herself cool and clean and happy and joyful and open and receptive, she wants more of that. Not every woman wants to have children. Not every woman wants to, it's her mission, so to say, to become a mother.
Sure.
But the partnership in which we bring the best of each other. So, and it depends on which level in your masculine journey you are.
Yeah.
Like if you are in your 20s and you are, okay, I'm in my body and I'm going to work out my body and build my body, and I'm in my 20s and I'm going to go to school and I'm going to get a degree and I'm going to learn the certain trade, I'm going to learn something. You're building yourself much differently than a man who is in his 60s. He's a king. He already been through all of this. He has a different mindset, different something to give, different things to offer to a feminine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there is a certain fill in the blank quality, but this is what I said at the beginning. It's an art. We are dancing together. So if you are dancing on as a 20-year-old man, you are aware, okay, I just came out of the school. I know how to solve the Rubik's Cube. I learned when I was 8. I know how to ride a bicycle. I know this, but I'm fascinated by guitar. And I never had courage to learn to do, but I really want to be cool, play the guitar, because I get all the chicks. And maybe that's a motivation. But then he starts playing and he starts being creative and writing songs and blah, blah, blah. And that becomes like, I'm going to make a better guitar. He starts a guitar company or God knows what happens. But having the courage to embrace yourself as a man and require a relationship that will bring more of that to you, more of your power. And as a woman, more of that. Many of us get to this stage of life in which we are in a relationship that is convenient. I'm used to this. We're used to that. We have kids. It's okay. We don't. And nobody's really growing, and everybody's kind of crying in a quiet agony. And I'm the first one to admit I am there too. I get myself sometimes this is easier. Why would I want to go and do something out of myself that is expanding when I can sit and play video games and eat chips? Do you see what I mean?
Mm,
Like that
mm,
requires, I am requiring of me more,
yeah.
not just of the other. And that's the trap in which many of our society falls. Oh, I want a man who is this, and that. That's why I said honest, loving, willing, organic, look at the mirror.
Mm,
Because most of us, oh, like if you look at this, oh my gosh, interviews sometimes on TikTok or somewhere, they're like, what kind of man do you want? And girls are like 22 years old. Well, he cannot be much older than me, maybe 4 years older than me, and has to be 6 feet tall, and he needs to make $100,000. And the guy
mm,
calculates that 0.03 population.
mm,
0.03% of population are that. And she's like,
mm.
well, I'm going to find that one. Why
Yeah.
are we looking so much for something impossible outside
Yeah.
of ourselves to make us comfortable? Work on your values, work on your skills, work on your relationship skills. Do you know how to have a girlfriend? Do you know
Mm.
how to maintain something? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to express your creativity?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how you become more of you as a woman, as a man. And then you don't ask from, I want a woman who is this, I want a man who is that. You just naturally, I am here. And everybody who knows they will just drag you down, want you for your money or whatever, it just feels off.
Mm.
And they don't even dare to do it because there is natural respect.
Yeah.
I remember one guy, um, he told me on a date, he said, I know we are not a match. You are much higher than me, but at least you gave me the hope to see that women have good hearts.
Wow.
Not all women are bitches.
Wow.
Oops, I said a B word.
That's okay. Wow. Okay.
You
So for
see?
him,
So,
that interaction isn't the love, it hasn't got that Hollywood ending. It's not that love story. But for him, he feels like he had hope that not everyone is like that. So then he can
yeah.
go off in his pursuit and know that there are people out there
And
that
he understood naturally we are not a
mm,
match.
mm, there's times when you become so overly familiar with your spouse, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, that you just go, I don't need to be this kind anymore. I can just drop it because they're not going anywhere. It's fine. And then it kills the relationship. So it's having that intentionality to say, what can I bring that's fresh? What can I bring? What can I do out of my way? And it doesn't have to be this massive grand gesture, but it could be just something small, something authentic, something organic that just works, knowing that the other person is thinking about you. Like, I even really like the way that you said the car door being open for you. You full well know you don't need anyone to do that, right? You don't need anyone to do that. But instead of saying to him, hey, women's power, I don't need you, you're just acknowledging that he was trying to be kind.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
And guess what? Men fall in love when they give.
We do.
Service, advice, action, money, the help.
Yeah.
Receive. We fall in love when we receive.
Yeah.
But women are so afraid to receive because I
Yeah.
don't want to be vulnerable and be in love. I want
Yeah.
to walk all over you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what do you get out of that, Missy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's oh, I could talk about this for ages, but as a man, you want to rescue the woman, okay? And now if that's wrong, right, politically correct, whatever, but as a man, there's something inside you that wants to rescue the woman, not just the woman that you love, all women, right? It's something within us, daughters, cousins, whatever we just want to, even the stranger who couldn't work out how to do the tapping in the supermarket, you want to be like, "Oh, this is how you do it," this is, and there's something about that drives you forward. And then what we also want is for men to receive, which is a big problem. I like that you highlighted that. It's such a big problem. And so when you have, I've worked with men in small groups and stuff where you have this uh, concept of them opening up, and they finally do, and then they get told, you're terrible, you're a man, you're toxic, you're this, that, and the other. They'll never open up again. And so it's like having the men and the women work together to celebrate each other's beauty and natural, healthy intentions, which I think drives things forward. Yeah.
And as you said, you want to be her hero, you want to rescue a woman. Definitely. But not when you notice she's using you. When there is no
Ooh, that's
respect,
good.
when there
Yes.
is putting you down, when there is expectation, then it kills the whole magic because it
Yes.
doesn't bring the best out of you. It
Yeah, that's
looks like it brings the best out of you, and then it's knife in the back. And this
mm,
is why relationship, we want to bring the best out of each other, to get more of me with you, and you
mm,
get more of you with me. You
yeah,
see?
that's
And
really
that's why
good.
some women take advantage of it. Oh, he wants to rescue me, let me cry and pretend so I don't
Mm,
have to do the work. No, you do the work too. We are a team.
mm, yeah. There's this, I love that. I love that because that is something that we can be quite blind to as men. I'm not speaking for every man on the planet, but like it's a thing that we can be quite blind to. And there's this a movie with Mel Gibson. It's called What Women Want. I think it was, I don't know, it's a 90s movie, I think. But anyway, there's this one line that I remember, and that's at the end of the movie. She rescues him and he allows her into his heart when she does that. And I thought it was really powerful because, it's not her using him like you've mentioned there. It's her saying, "I'm going to show up for you as well." And I think men need that. They need a partner that's going to show up for them, or they need
But if she's
community that's going to
always
show up.
rescuing him, then she's his mama. And that kills
Absolutely,
the whole chemistry. So it's
absolutely.
everything is, that's why I said it's an art.
It's an art. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
dancing. If it's very important to learn very beautiful spin in a
Mm,
dance. But if you're
mm.
spinning all the time, you look like you don't know what you're doing on a dance floor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's a combination. Now we spin, now we go backwards, now we go forward, now we do this, now we part, now we get closer.
yeah.
It's beautiful art.
I can see it in you already because even in the conversation that we're having and we're coming to a place of agreement, you've moved over here and I'm coming with you over here and then you've moved over here in terms of just the spectrum of what we're talking about, which is a natural thing, it's a good thing because there is no here's the paintbrush and everything's done. Actually, there is a dance to be had here.
Yes.
Um,
See, this is a great example. The paintbrush.
mm,
Taking a paintbrush and painting a whole wall white
yeah.
is not an art.
Mm,
It's labor.
yeah. Labor, yes.
It's a labor. You need a worker who you pay hourly wage, they do the job, hi bye.
Yes.
But to make a piece of art, you need the white color and the blue and the green and and maybe a really small canvas.
Mm,
Maybe a lot of time. Maybe you can do it quickly. I don't know. I'm not a Picasso. But you see what it means? Like,
yeah.
and we sometimes think my labor is enough. I painted your walls. Why are you not satisfied with my artistic expression? Am I not turning you on? Uh-uh. Well, you
I'm
never
not.
had.
That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. That's.
You brought
I'm.
it out of me.
No, I love it. It's convicting me. I'm looking at my own self, going, "Oh my gosh, yes, yes, this is true. This is true. I'm guilty." You know. How do we meet each other's needs? We're talking about your speciality in terms of the way we communicate with each other. So we have two partners who have different needs. How do we communicate? What are the ways of just requesting things without coming across as overly entitled,
Uh-huh.
without
You
coming
mean how
across
to
as,
ask?
a little bit scared. Some people are scared of asking for needs, So I'm just throwing all of that at you, seeing what comes
Okay,
back.
here we go. Okay, so this is when my androgynous semantic realignment specialty comes in
Mhm.
verbally. So if you are in a relationship and you are doing relationship from the feminine perspective,
Mhm.
that means that you are queen of hearts. So you talk and express yourself from the heart. You use the words I feel, you use the words that make you feel joyful. You don't say I feel like.
Mhm.
I feel like you are an idiot. No, you say, I feel excited. I feel
Yeah.
sad. I feel scared. I feel confused because you are an idiot. But you are naming your emotions because you are the queen of hearts. You are owning your emotions.
Mm,
If you are coming from the place of a masculine and you are owning your brain, your power, your
mm,
leadership, you don't talk about, oh, I feel. You talk about, I think. You
mm,
lead, you direct, you wise up, you analyze, you have a brain that linearly thinks and sharply goes through problems. And her brain, I feel this, butterfly and eagle, very different way how they fly. You cannot make, if you make a butterfly fly like an eagle, it would look really weird. But if you make eagle fly like a butterfly, it looks like it's high on some drug.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. No, I
Right?
really like this. Yeah.
So when you are expressing yourself, asking for what you need, you coming from the Queen of Hearts or from the leadership of your brain. You don't talk wishy-washy and what it's called bait and switch. You stay in your truth. So as a woman, I would say something like, let's say, what do I need? I need more sleep. I need more cleaner house. I need something like that. Oh, honey. So it depends on which stage of relationship we are. If we are just freshly fighting, or we are about to divorce, or we are just freshly bubbly with each other, the standard would be different how to talk. This
Sure.
is why I'm saying if you have a wall to paint white, you're just going to labor it. Or if you have a piece of art that you want to create, small, bigger, whatever, that's why you have, this is artistry. This is not just a formula that fits one fits all. So you express yourself by saying, okay, what shall we put? Like, okay, regular relationship, we're not fighting, we are not nothing, but we kind of flirt with each other. It's just kind of okay. So I come from the heart and I dig the gold. I remind him of one of two respectful things that I appreciate about him. So he knows I'm not just asking for more without appreciating later. At the beginning, you don't have to use that because you are all the time chirping about each other, right?
Yeah.
So I would say something like, honey, I feel so safe with you because ever since we've been together, all the food is provided. I feel much safer walking on the street. And I really love how I look in this beautiful dress that you bought me. Like you have some kind of gold on different aspects. And then you say, and I would feel really cherished and treasured if in our relationship I never have to touch the trash. If I have my knight in shining armor who will take care of that, I would happily, and you can offer, I would just be so happy. Level 1. You can
Yeah.
level 2, I would happily make you a meal. Or level 3, I would happily play with you under the sheets. Right? So it's not that that's not an exchange. You do this, I
No.
do that. But it's a showing it, I can reward you. I'm not just using you for you be my trash man and I'm just a princess who does nothing for you.
Sure.
Right? So it's what my mentor used to call it stroke and stand. Give a compliment, dig the gold, and then stand for what you want. Like,
Right.
I appreciate this about you, and I would feel cherished, treasured, honored, happy, safe, fantastic, that I know I never have to touch the trash ever again. Right? And let's say you are, and then you give him the reward. What you're willing to do to participate in this relationship with. I don't want to fix your car for that because I don't know how to do it, but I'll make a meal. So you are not kind of delegating your duties with each other without making it on the spreadsheet paper, making it so dry. So you say what you want, you ask for it, trusting that this is my friend and my partner, and we are in this together. We're not going to argue, or we don't have to
Yeah.
argue. We are together. And let's say it's the same kind of situation. You, as a man, you are asking for what? More sex. Okay. So you say something like this, honey. I've been watching you. You work so hard around the house. You're always on the go. Children, work, school, organizing things. And I was wondering if you are peaceful. If your mind is peaceful? Look, I'm your man. I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna put kids to bed. I'm gonna run you a bathtub. So you don't have to worry about kids. I'm gonna do the dishes after the dinner. You just relax in a bathtub. And by the time you come out, I'm gonna have a nicely bed made for us so we can be intimate and close together, so you can be safe in my arms. So now she knows she doesn't have to work, kids, whatever, and then I have to have sex. Oh, I get to trust him with this. And then if you want to be more specific, you can rest it in my arms, because I want to be intimate with you. I know, so it feels like, oh my God, so much work. I know it feels like that, probably. That's why I'm running you a bathtub. All you need to do is relax there. Kids are in my care. Dishes are in my care. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you don't have to stress about those things.
Sure.
You see?
That's
So now
that's
we are
so
being partners.
yeah,
You are
yeah, yeah.
asking for what you want, but you are also acknowledging where they are.
Both examples there as well, which are probably very common. It's not. I think you said in the first example, it's not like if you do this, you do that. It's not transactional, but it's an understanding to say this is how you feel, and actually you would feel cherished if you didn't have to take out the trash in that example, right? And in order to show you the appreciation I have for you doing that, I will, whatever it is, make a meal in the sheets, all that kind of stuff. But not because it's because, oh, all right, I have to pay for it, but as in that's my payment for you doing the trash. But it's actually because I know what you appreciate, and you've appreciated what means something to me. And then it's a different language, isn't it? It's a different connection.
It's much
So yeah,
softer and more. I don't even believe in sustainable relationships. I believe in regenerative,
regenerative, great word.
like
Yeah.
regenerative agriculture. Sustainable stays on this level. That's boring. We want regenerative. We want that it can regenerate itself. So when you are naturally acknowledging their needs and including them together with yours, you are sharing that both is important. I matter and you matter. I'm okay, you okay. We're not
Yeah.
coming, I'm better than you and you just this piece of worthless
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
and even if
beautiful.
we take a little bit softer than that, because yeah, that's a very hard approach. But even if it's like, I've had a tough day, I've had a tough week, I've had a tough year, I've had a tough month, I've had this, I've had that. You haven't helped me. I need your help for this. I need your help for that. So
Well, but that's
so
a
there's
little victim. I would not start with I had a tough anything.
sure
That sounds like I'm a victim of a day. I'm a victim of a whole year.
that's where I was
No.
going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would not start with that. I would be like, you know what? I cannot believe all the things that happened today. I have so little calories to tell you without bursting into tears or going angry or whatever. So right now, what I really need is a quiet hug, or I need you to support me, or I need a solution, or I need comfort. Don't give me any solutions, just give me comfort. Or
Mm,
you come because if you don't have calories because you had such a tough month or a year, but you say I had a tough month, you sound like a victim, which is I
exactly.
would never rescue my man if he comes, oh, I had such a tough year. I would be like, what? Because a year, the whole year was tough. You didn't have a one moment to breathe. Then how weak are you? You're a victim of a year. Really? I've been through war. Don't talk to me about that.
Mm,
Right? But
yes.
if you go, look, blah 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 happened, and right now I'm in a minimum of my calories.
Mm,
Like I'm about to go kill my boss or do whatever. So I want to be with you right now. I have this desire. I have nothing to give back. Nothing. I'm zero at my calories, but I need your comfort. I need a solution. I need something from you, and we'll figure it out later when my calories get up.
yeah, sure.
So that's clarity, and that's more sexy than, oh, poor thing, you had a tough month.
How can a man stay sexy and stay sexually desirable to his woman?
In my perspective, if he's trying too hard to stay sexy, he's automatically not sexy, because
Ooh.
the goal is not his mission. The goal is I want to be sexy for you because there is underlying fear of I'm not good enough, or you're
Mm,
going to leave me, or you're going to like somebody else, or you're going to judge me. It's very sexy, a man who can say no to a woman. No, I'm not going to support you in this stupid thing. How
Mm.
oftentimes my husband tells me no. In million times he tells me yes, but this one time I'm like, I hate it when you say that, but I love it because you put me on my place. Because we don't want to walk all over you guys. But when you let us, we'll try. And then you let us, and then we're like, not sexy. Don't let us walk all over you. Have a mission outside of the house. Do something that makes you sexy. That is, as I said, play an instrument, have an activity, have a hobby, hang out with men, achieve something, like create something, archer, whatever you do, get a fitness goal for yourself, learn a foreign language, or learn a Rubik's Cube, whatever you need to learn. Do something that I can come to you for your leadership in your brain and ask for solution, ask for advice, ask for help, ask for opinion, and I can trust that you know more than me. He researched this topic. I can trust him with stocks. I know he knows what he's talking about. I cannot trust him with laundry. He's going to make everything gray and pink. But I trust him with, he knows algebra.
Yeah.
He can speak 5 languages. Like, there are so many men who don't know how to drive without asking a woman, can I go faster? Can I park here? Should I do that? Like, dude, own your freaking vehicle. Own it. Like, how oftentimes my husband drives and I'm like, oh, you do this, do that. And he just looks at me. You want to drive? It's disrespect.
I like what you said about, you're talking about leadership there, right? Right. Being in the man's leadership role, or that realm, let's say, is going to be attractive. And that then goes back to the analogy of this dance, this art of dancing. The man tends to lead when you have traditional sort of, couples dancing and stuff like that. And that's for a reason. And then you hear, women really attracted to dancers. And it's the funny thing is because there's a sense of leadership, there's a sense of not destination, but I guess I know what I'm doing. And you can be safe to, be free in what you're doing because I know what I'm doing. There you go. All right.
You
Thanks for
just
that.
relax and
That's
look pretty. I'll do all the work.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which again, look, we touched on this earlier on. It's that emotional safety and trust that the feminine can then, it's like water, the feminine can flow like powerful water, and I think it's been said, like, men to grow into their own masculinity, to be the bank that holds the water so that the water can flow. The bank's a little bit boring in comparison, but that's okay. We're here to hold things together and create sturdiness. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you for that. We're wrapping up now. I've got to ask you this question. Under what conditions would you advise people in relationships to go their separate ways? So now we're
Number
talking
one,
about,
they
it could be
want to.
divorce, it could be
Yeah, if
if
they
they
want
want
to.
to.
There is nothing
Okay.
I can do about it.
Yeah.
If people really want to, I
Sure.
cannot prevent. You go, try your life without it. Learn the skills to beat, but if they want a part, what can you do? Actually, I call it like a 4 A's.
Okay.
Adultery, abuse, chronic, constant, not just one little incident. Chronic adultery, abuse, addiction, and against the law, illegal stuff, criminal activities, all of this. The attention is focused on feeding up certain other needs and unable to provide for the family unit, for us, for 2 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us, doesn't matter how big is the family unit. So chronic addiction, chronic constant cheating, adultery, chronic abuse, and anything against the law. So
Yeah.
oh,
These are
my husband is amazing. He deals drugs. Yeah, good luck.
yeah, like an episode of Breaking Bad. When you said about, you were very clear there to define abuse there. You said chronic Abuse, right? So what would be your sort of definition of what that looks like as an example? I mean,
It,
look.
it happens. It's not one time. Oh, he yelled at me. He was drunk and he yelled at me, telling me, go to hell. Like
Mhm, mhm,
it happened one time. He's super providing for kids, does this, does everything. And this was a really dark moment. He lost a job. He was drunk. He was diagnosed with cancer, blah, blah, blah. Every hell opened loose. And then this happened. But if there is
mhm,
constantly putting down, constant, it happens a lot all the time. And you can count on that more than you can count on good moments. That
mm,
means chronic.
mm.
But I will have to go soon. I have a client
No problem.
in
All right.
2
So
minutes. Yeah.
I wanna say thank you so much for being with us today, and it's been such a wonderful conversation with you. Thank you for reframing things in a really interesting way as well. So thank you for that. Before you go, I just want to give you the opportunity. If people want to reach out to you, find you, connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
I would love for everyone to get my love glitch matrix.
Mhm,
It's a really cool thing that I'm solving all relationship problems with 5 solutions, helping you understand 5 reasons why we have any relationship glitch.
mhm.
It's you can go to helenasummer.com
Okay.
slash matrix
Okay.
and you can download it. Or you can also look me up, Helena Summer Love Coach on Instagram, Helena Summer on YouTube and Facebook, Helena Summer.
Brilliant. All right. I'll put all of those links at the bottom so people can link to that and
Cool.
get in touch with you. Thank you so much. And thank you. I know you have a client straight after this podcast, so I'm going to let you go really quickly and just say just lots of love. Thank you so much. And we'd love to have you back in the future
Yes,
when you're
stay in touch.
available. All right.
Thank you, my
Thanks
friend.
again.
Bye, everyone.
Really hope you enjoyed that episode. Thank you, Helena, who had to shoot off there really quickly at the end to see her client. Hope that session goes really well. If you have been listening for a while now, you know that we're in our relationship series, and I hope that you got something out of this conversation today. I hope that it's given you maybe some fresh perspective, or looking at things, maybe reframing some of those conversations that you're having in your relationship with yourself or with another person. Really love the idea of connection and purpose in connection. So yeah, there's some stuff there that I'll watch back and try to apply in my own life. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, whether it's via YouTube or all the podcast platforms that we're on. It really helps grow this channel, and it helps us get together with other guests and have some courageous conversations, or at least conversations about courage. If you don't know already, we also have the Courage Journal, which is available at www.goencourage.com. All right, don't forget you can reach out to Helena about relationship stuff and get some of her resources online as well. Links will be down in the description. I bid you farewell for now. We'll see you on the next one. Whatever you're doing in life, move forward, go and go in courage.